Well, my toilet isn't working. I could hire a plumber. I could get this fixed. I'm going to do it myself. I know there's lots of videos out there of actual plumbers showing you how to do this. That's great, but most of us, we're not plumbers. You want to look for somebody who isn't a plumber. And can it be done? That's me. I'm going to show you how to do it. Went to Home Depot, got this. It was less than 10 bucks. This is an exact match for what's in my toilet now. Let's open the box and see what's in there. So this is the fill valve here. This is the part in my toilet that's not working. It's not going appropriately up and down. So when I flush the toilet, it doesn't refill. It takes like 30 minutes before it finally comes back up and refills. We've got the little lock nut right there. We've got, this is a little thing that clips on to fill the, connect the tube into the overflow valve. And then we've got our directions. So we've got everything we need. Let's go into the bathroom. I'll show you what the current problem is. So what's going on with this is it's this piece that's not working. So this is what happens. I flush the toilet. It doesn't come back up. That's the piece I have to replace because it's not coming back up. So step one in this process, after you flush like I just did, the next thing you got to do is you got to turn off the water. So that's what we're going to do right here. As you can probably tell, there's still some water left down in there after we flushed it. So this is where the hard part starts. We have to get the paper towels and get all that water out of there. And let that soak up. We're going to do that till it's completely dry. So I used, I don't know, maybe 10 globs of paper towels, and I got all the water out of there. I mean, it's basically bone dry in the bottom. So we got that taken care of. So our next step, we have to undo the supply valve, and we have to undo this, which releases the fill valve. This is where you're potentially going to get some water leak, and that's why everybody recommends this little container, Tupperware container underneath there. So if there's water leak, it'll just go in there. So the first step is to turn this. This is the water supply. And then release this. There shouldn't be any water coming out because I've already turned the water off. There could be a few drips though. So we've got our thing ready, our Tupperware ready. Not too bad. There's a few drips there, but not bad. Our next step, we have to get this loose, and this is what loosens the fill valve. I might need a tool for that one. Okay, so I used the pliers. I got that loosened. So now we'll go ahead and take this. This is where we're likely going to get a little bit of water come out. That's why we have the Tupperware there. That came off. Now let's go back to the tank and lift the fill valve out. Okay, so we need to get this out, and this should just come right out. How about that? We drained it so well, there's no extra water draining. This is the old one. We're going to go measure so we can replace it with the new one. Okay, so we have the old one here, the new one here. As you can see, there's a height difference. To make the toilet work appropriately, the distance between this gasket and the fill valve up here, right here and right here, has to be the same in the two. So the new one, I have to extend a little bit. So to make these two heights the same, this one we have to extend. The way you do that is you actually just turn it. And that extends it. Let's take a look. That looks really good. I think we got that height just exactly to match. So it's time to replace the old one with the new one in the tank. One thing you want to make sure and do before you put this in the bowl is this little collar here secures the height adjustment. So if you raise it, it's adjustable. Once you know you got the height exactly the way you want to put this back down to lock it. That's so this doesn't self-adjust inside the tank and cause problems down the road. Sorry for the shadows. This isn't really set up to be a studio. This is just the bathroom. So next thing we want to do is we're going to place this in here like that. We're going to have to adjust this. We'll do that. Actually, I think we'll do that now. I'm going to go ahead and go get a scissors so I can adjust that. So to adjust this really isn't any kind of a precise thing. We just basically want this tube to go on this little clip here. The garden rule with carpentry is measure twice and cut once. We just don't want to cut it too short. So I'm going to cut it about here. Alright, let's take a look and see if that's going to work. Put that there. This goes on this clip in here. Yeah, that was perfect. So now we just got to tighten this up down below. So this was the length that I originally cut from that hose. Then I cut this little piece off. It still looked too long. Then I cut that piece off. By doing it that way, I made sure I didn't cut it too short, but I still got it exactly the right length. So step one to get this thing reassembled is we have to put this nut on here, and that secures the fill valve into the toilet. After we get this done, then we'll go ahead and reinstall the water supply line. We're just going to make this finger tight, but we do want it to be tight to seal that gasket up there. So we're going to reconnect the water supply. That's this right here. And again, this just goes finger tight. We just want to make sure that it's good enough to keep that seal. So we'll do that, and then we'll turn the water on slow to make sure there's no leaks. All right. Okay, everything's replaced. Let's take a look, test it, and see how it goes. The problem was clearly fixed because this is the part it didn't do before. It wouldn't fill. Well, there you have it. Even a non-plumber can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. This whole project took me maybe 20 minutes, and that was with filming it. So it's an easy project. Anyone can do it. You don't need to call the plumber for this one. If you like this video, please hit the like button and smash the subscribe, because you may want to know.